All right, welcome to another Bragging Rights weekly hobby progress update. We have about 2 weeks of lunch break hobbying here. Small amount of figures as been pretty busy, but I did want to show it off, and let me jump right in. So we have from the Dreadfleet kit, which I bought years ago, and it's still been sitting on sprue disappointingly for all that time. Just started to assemble and prime those up, and I did this little terrain piece that comes on the sprues. And I'm going to use this as a shipwreck for both Armada and Black Seas. And for this, I just did contrast with dry brush for the white and bone colors. Down here, I did a contrast or Army Speed Painter blue with the AK wave texture and AK foam. And I like how this little guy came out. A very, very low effort, but a fun little terrain piece we put out just to break up the visual field on a naval battle. From that same Dreadfleet kit, and we'll zoom out a little bit, we have a ghost ship. I don't remember the exact name of what they call it in Dreadfleet. I'm sure something with a few adjectives. I used that same and all of the dark blue bases follow my new technique, which is to hit it with on Army Painter Speed Paint blue first before putting the wave and foam texture on. And up on top, it's the Hex Wraith Wash from Citadel. And then on top of that, I have a mixture of white and very light green from Army Painter that I've dry brushed on just to evoke a ghost ship. I can use this for both Armada or for Black Sails, because Black Sails does have in the newer expansion rules for some fantasy units, which is pretty cool. A large Zebek, that's my second of large Zebek, and my third and fourth small Zebek. So now I have a Barbary fleet that's pretty large. It is 4 small Zebeks, 2 large Zebeks, 1 large galley, and 2 small galleys. I've got a couple of 3 more galleys primed up and ready to be painted, which I haven't gotten to yet. But I have enough for a decent sized battle. And I've got a friend who has US forces, so I think it'd be really great to have a little battle between Barbary pirates, or a series of battles between the Barbary pirates and the United States. And I think it'd be really fun to use. I painted up a Philadelphia that I can use as a captured US ship in Barbary service. And this is my older basing technique, which I don't love. I like the way I'm doing it now a lot more. It adds a lot of depth to add in one more color of wash. But these are fine for now. They end up coming out a little more Caribbean than I would have liked, but that's okay. Future projects are going to have the improved basing. I learn with each little project I do. Okay, so these have the newer basing technique. These are gunboats that I can use in multiple fleets. Really any fleet in this age of warfare can make use of these gunboats. These are from Warlord Games. I'll say a few things about Warlord's models here. They're 4 pieces. It's 4 masts and sails, and then the base with the boats built in. The bottom is resin and all the sails are metal, and I'll say the resin's very imperfect. So here, I'm not sure if it'll show up in the light perfectly, but we have the back of this boat is just plain missing, miscast. I didn't feel like repairing it because it's such a minor detail. Half the cannon's gone. It's just really poorly cast, and 2 of these 3 were likewise poorly cast. One of them is nice. I think it's the white sails one. Is nice and complete, great. But when you have 2 out of 3 bad, I can't recommend this product. You might be better off with 3D prints, especially for the price. These are quite expensive for what they are. But I did enjoy painting them, and I'll surely enjoy playing with them. And I need gunboats for the actions that I'm planning. I did just a little bit of a gaming helpful thing. I painted each of the sails, groups of sails, a little bit different. So we have a light green, a light blue, and a white. That way I can mark the cards as to which is which, so that I can keep visual clutter off the table, because I don't really love having the tokens moving around on the table if I can help it. These gunboats I think are great, but like I said, it's really hit or miss, so it really depends on your tolerance for perfection, because these are very far from perfect casts. I also have done a little more in 172, and my philosophy here is before investing a lot of money into collecting every army and every theater I'm interested in 28 millimeter, which can be exhaustive, as any of you have seen in my 10 millimeter collection, you know I've got a big appetite for collecting different armies. I thought I would do it in a smaller scale in 172 that's very, very cost effective and easy to get painted up, as opposed to in 28 millimeter. I'll save 28 millimeter for 2 or 3 armies that I'm really interested in. Right now it looks like it's going to be Fortress Budapest is what I'm collecting in 28 millimeter. Soviets, Hungarians, and Germans. Maybe I'll have a little bit of Romanians, we'll see. But in 172, this is an Opel Blitz to go with my German force, and I'm going to add just a few units here and there over the next few weeks and months for my Germans, and likely do the same for British. I've also finished off my US, which I posted a video on. So this is a miniature that's $4 on eBay from a Chinese manufacturer, I believe it's a Chinese manufacturer called 4D. This is all push to fit, no glue needed. I did use just a tiny bit on the axles to try to keep them in place so it doesn't roll, and just to keep the windshield in place. But other than that, this is all push to fit. I sprayed them with Army Painter Field Gray, and then dry brushed them, added the details like the windows and headlights, a little chrome on the hubcaps, and that was it. I didn't bother with the bottom or anything like that. But it's fine utility for $4. I would highly recommend these for anybody who's gaming in 172. It's a really great find. I also would recommend Armor Fast and Atelieri, basically anything they have. And then finally, I played a game of bolt action last week, actually my first game in 28 millimeter of bolt action. And one of the things I was disappointed in was my Hungarian sniper model. My sniper was a rifleman, taking aim, standing on the back of a horse. It's made by Great Escape Games, part of a Kickstarter from years ago. Beautiful model. I love it. I'm going to use it for something. But I found it really inconvenient to have a horse precariously, with a guy precariously perched on top of him, sitting somewhere where you'd put a sniper in gameplay. So you think about where you're going to put your snipers. You're going to put them in terrain or up in a building or something like that. And that horse model just wasn't working for me. Like I said, I'm going to find a use for it. But for now, this is going to be my sniper team. This is a team of guys also from Great Escape Games. These are from their Honved Summer Division. I'm going to use the rest of the models that came with this set, who all have little camouflage overcoats. This guy's got his stowed away, this guy's wearing his. They've all got camouflaged overcoats that don't quite look like the parachutist coats, luckily. And these will be my border guard sections, which will be likely inexperienced infantry, which I think it's always good to have some inexperienced troops handy, because a lot of theater selectors and the scenarios require or recommend it. So this is going to be my sniper team. And then final thing that I got painted this week is this little guy. This is the model that comes as pre-order with Fortress Budapest, which I unluckily didn't get in time, but I did order this on eBay for admittedly way too steep of a price, but I just really wanted to figure he's going to be my first lieutenant, and in other battles I might elevate him to a higher role for larger battles, but he's going to be my first lieutenant. And then the other model I have that's a lieutenant model that comes in the command box, I'm actually going to downgrade as his assistant. He's a pretty cool sculpt. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there we go. He's a pretty cool sculpt. I actually really do like him. He's got his binocs, and he's got one of the traditional leather overcoats that was, I believe, an unofficial officer's uniform. And his base, like all the other bases, will have some city rubble. He's got a poster down there on the back. He's got his SMG, which I think is pretty cool, because some of the officer models just come with pistols, which I prefer to have officers with SMGs or rifles. He was a really fun model to paint, and I now have 1250 points, fully painted the way I want an army designed for bolt action in 28 millimeter, which is really great. Now I just need to keep collecting so that I have units and models to swap in and out between different games. All right, well, thank you. Have a great week.